okay, here's what I want to do. I want to build a wall that is so big that the game is going to tell me that it's too complex, and only then am I going to stop building this wall. And then we're going to take it out with this tank over here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, this is ScrapMan bringing you another episode of Trailmakers, and today we are going to be building a tank and then building some walls or something to shoot with the tank and see what kind of fun we can have destroying things if our tank actually works. But before we jump into it, if this is your first ScrapMan video, then welcome to the channel where we play creative games and have some fun just messing around and making things and looking at cool things that other people made. So if that's the kind of thing you're into, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future uploads like this. All right, well, let's just jump into it, literally. So I'm thinking about tank options here. I'm gonna try to make it look like an actual tank with like a rotating turret and stuff. Now, the thing about that is I don't think I can have the turret rotate while being in contact with the body, because I think once those two things are in contact, they get automatically welded to each other. So there's... What is wrong with you? What is this guy doing? What is this guy? This is not water. You can't just go wading through the ground like it's a lake or a pool or something. I'm standing on the chicken. I'm standing on the chicken. The chicken, the chicken's just chugging along with me right on top of its head, just bringing me along with it. I think I found my new buddy. I think I found my new best friend in this game. We're gonna travel far together. We're gonna go explore the world. Chicken and human. Or am I human? What is this thing? Kind of like a potato head. All right, anyway, enough distraction with the chicken there. The very strange chicken with no legs. Let's get to building this tank. So the first thing I'm gonna focus on is just the outside of the body. I need to put wheels down and things like that. Now, there is a tank building video in Trailmakers on the channel, but that was before it came out in early access and there was no projectiles in the game. But now we actually have cannons, so we can build a tank that actually shoots things. So that's why I'm really excited to give it a go in the early access. And also, we just have other cool parts too that we can use. So the first thing I want to focus on is getting the wheelbase down. And I have an interesting idea for how to do tank steering using 3 different engines with independent controls to the wheels. I think we can actually make something tank steering and have it be WASD. So we'll see if this is gonna work. We're gonna have to put like a temporary seat down at some point, but right now I want to establish the dimensions. All right, so now we know our width. Now let's get a feel for our length. Now I'm gonna try to use some angle blocks and stuff to contour this to make it actually look kind of interesting. So I'm just gonna say that this is gonna be the front of the vehicle here, and then we're just gonna move back from here after we finish with the front. All right, so this is what I'm kind of thinking for the front here. Something like this. However, I think there's going to be wheels in this section here, so I'm going to have to close that off. Now, I might have to extend this by 1 in order to fit wheels in here. All right, so now we have our front dimensions kind of settled in here. So now let's head on back to see how long this thing is actually going to be. All right, so I think we're going to go with this as our main dimensions here. So this is going to be the top of the body. We're going to have to put the turret somewhere in the middle here. We're going to figure that out after we figure out the wheel situation, though. All right, so what I've done is I've actually just laid out the positions of the wheels that I wanted, but none of them are actually attached yet. So I'm going to build in the attachment points now that I know where I want the wheels. But what I should be able to do first is actually copy this layout, just like that, to the other side. Perfect. All right, I've actually this is already starting to you can see where it's going. It's already starting to take shape, and I'm really liking the way that this looks so far. What's weird though is that there seems to be some type of illusion that it almost looks like these wheels aren't perfectly in line with each other, but we're on a grid system, so they have to be. All right, now let's see what we can do as far as attaching these things to the actual tank. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the project. We have the basics of our body built. I have the whole underside filled in. I have like the front little curve here. I got the back, kind of a little bit more of a slope on the back. And I think it's looking really, really well. So what I'm going to do now, before we work on the turret, I'm first going to make sure that this works. I'm just going to put a seat on it, just like right there for now. I know it looks... Oh, things are not attached. These are not attached. That's no problem. I just got to go under here and pull up a little bit of this and put that right in there. And now everything's attached, but let me just make it a little bit more symmetrical. There we go. And we're just going to fill in, whoops, just fill in that little gap right there. Okay, now everything's attached. I really like that they have that new exclamation point notification, because if we did not have that, I would have spawned this thing in thinking everything was attached, and then all of that stuff would have fell off the front. So speaking of which, I'm going to save this just in case anything bad does happen to it. We can at least start off here. And now we have the wiring of the wheels to create a legitimate tank steering. I'm hoping that this is going to work. So first things first, let's just have some forward and backwards. Now, the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to put 2 engines. We're going to see how 2 engines works. Those are going to be hooked up to all of the wheels. That was weird. These are going to be hooked up to all the wheels. So let's just see how fast this thing can go with 2 engines. All right. This feels pretty good so far. So now remember, this thing has no steering right now. But I'm thinking I'm going to add 1 more engine for just the standard front to back. Steering is probably going to feel a little bit slower, though. All right, here it is with 3 engines. Let's go ahead and just drive this thing up this ramp here. Oh! All right, this thing is... Oh! Ooh, I thought we were almost going to, like, transfer over the spine there. Okay, so now we got our forward and back engines in. Now we have to make this thing steer using A and D. So I'm going to have 2 engines on the left over there, and then I'm going to have 2 engines on the right. So now these 2 engines are going to be wired to steer me left, and these 2 engines are going to be wired to steer me right. Now, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to select these 2 left ones, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have these left engines only power the left side. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to keep W. W is going to make these all go forward, but to go backwards, I'm actually going to press A. So now when I press A, only the left side wheels are going to go backwards. And when I press W, they're still all going to go forward. So I'm going to get extra forward power, and then hopefully this is going to help me turn to the left when I press A. So now I need to do the opposite for these 2 engines over here. So now I'm hoping that we're going to have a successful tank steering. We're going to see what happens. All right, so we can go forward. We can go backward. Now, the interesting thing is now backwards is actually going to have less power than forwards, because I'm going to have 7 engines going forwards, but only 3 engines going backwards. And now let's see if steering works. Oh, this is interesting. This doesn't work quite the way I expected it to. It still kind of works. We might have to change it up a little bit, because right now I'm only having one side change directions when I press A or D. What I really need is both sides to go opposite each other when I press A and D. All right, so my initial idea didn't work quite as well as I thought, so I have a new idea that I'm going to try to do, and I'm just going to remap everything from the beginning. So now there are 2 things that we want to happen when we press A. We want one side to go forward, and then we want the other side to go backward. So with these 2 engines powering the right side of the wheels, I want the wheels to go forward when I turn left with A. Then using the other engine, I'm going to have the wheels go backward when I press D. So now we need the opposite on the other side. So I want the left side to go forward when I press D, and then I want the left side to go backwards when I press A. All right, so let's see if this idea at least gives us some turning. So we should be able to go left. It's slow going. Right. It is slow going, and I think I can still go forward and back, which is kind of interesting. So now let's see if I'm going forward and I go to press left. All right, so it works. You can see it working, but it definitely seems to have a lot of resistance. So I'm going to try to add 2 more engines to each side. Now, I'm hoping I could just copy and paste them and they'll keep the same settings. Let's find out. Nope. All right, so I've doubled up the power. Let's see if this has any effect on how well it turns. All right, left. Oh, that's better. That's better. Check it out. Check it out. And then we can go to the right. All right, that definitely helps. And then we should be able to go forward. And we should be able to go backwards. So the cool thing is I don't even have to have any engines dedicated to forward and backwards, because just by changing those one key on each of the left and right engines, it still leaves a forward and back for the other key. Look at this. We're doing donuts now. Okay, all right, I feel much better about this thing now. All right, it is a little bit slow to turn at first, but once you kind of like let it get going, then you can really start doing some donuts. All right, so now we have to figure out how are we going to do the turret, because the problem with the turret is it'd be nice if the turret was nice and flush with the body and it turned like this on top of it. But if the top of the turret is in contact with the body, then it's going to be welded and it's not going to be going anywhere. So we're going to have to keep like a layer of separation between them, which might look a little bit odd, but we're going to try to figure it out. Right here is looking like a pretty good center point for the rotation. I know it's not the, it's a little bit more towards the front, but the turret should be a little bit more towards the front of the tank, I think. So just having this right here, this creates our layer of separation. So we can probably keep that there, and then we can just build off of this. I feel like this is gonna look weird with that layer of separation, but you know what? Let's just build it out and see how it looks. Now, the only thing I'm realizing is that these cannons are actually kind of big. So to actually enclose the entire cannon is going to make it huge, unless we can make the barrel kind of skinny and then like have the end of the barrel be thicker that actually contains the cannon, and that'll be better because then we could turn while we shoot without worrying about the projectile hitting the inside of the cannon. So let's do that. Let's build a cannon going out, and then we will make it bigger at the end so it contains this entire thing. All right, guys, I've got some bad news. I was in the middle of building the cannon, and I went to duplicate this block here, and I got this. Structure is too complex, cannot add any more blocks. And I've tried like dragging other blocks down, and it's not letting me add any more blocks. So I'm thinking, going back to when we were experimenting with the boats, which seemed to really add to the block limit, was the number of wheels. So what I'm gonna do is delete a couple of wheels, and I'm hoping that it's gonna free up a lot more room for some more blocks. So I'm just gonna delete these back wheels here. They seem kind of pointless. And you know what? These front wheels here as well seem kind of pointless. So now let's see, can we add some more blocks? We should be able to. Hopefully this isn't going to impede me too much, and I can add a lot more of these aesthetic and design elements instead of just wheels. All right, we're doing good so far. So I have my controls set up. I'm just gonna see if this works before I start building out the rest of the shape of the turret. All right, here we go. So we got forward, we got back. Oh, I can see parts of my vehicle are like, don't look attached. That's kind of disconcerting. All right, we can turn. That's still working. All right, now I'm gonna try to turn the turret. We can turn, oh, that actually turns kind of fast. Oh, I didn't actually realize that this thing has a limit to its rotation. Can we actually change the settings to that? Well, before we get to that, let me first see. So we go left, we can go right, and then we should be able to go up, and down. Oh, maybe we shouldn't be able to go down. Up, down, and then we can shoot. There we go. Yeah, so the rotating disc works a lot differently than I thought it was going to work for some reason. I thought it was just going to be able to go 360 degrees and then stop wherever I stop it, but if I let go, it actually zeroes me back to the center, which might be good. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of being able to just turn and stay wherever I want. So maybe this is the wrong tool to use. Let me look at the settings. So we can adjust the angle. What's the max angle? 175. We can adjust the speed as well, but it doesn't work the way that I would want it to work necessarily. So let's look. Slowly rotates in each direction, spins around quickly. So let's save what I have right now. And then what I want to do is experiment with switching out the rotating servo, this one, with the spinning servo, and see if we can get it to work the way we want to. I don't know. All right, so now let's see what the settings on this thing are. Speed. All right, this one doesn't have an angle setting. So let's, since it's supposed to rotate quickly, let's put the speed down to like 0.1 for now, and up and down. Why not left and right? All right, I guess we'll go Q and E. I hope I have that in the right direction. I'm not too sure if this is gonna work at all. All right, here we go. Q. Okay, and I stop it. Oh, and it has a swing to it. All right, let's change the speed up a little bit more. Let's go like, let's actually put it at the speed that it was originally at. Let's go with 1. All right, let's see how this works now. All right, here we go. Right and left. All right, so now the only problem with this is it doesn't naturally stop where I want it to go. Oh, and look at that. It swings freely. That is terrible. Okay, so neither of the options are ideal, unfortunately. So this one has the 360 degrees of freedom that I want, and it doesn't zero back to the forward position, but it doesn't actually stay stopped where I want it to be. But the other one, it doesn't swing around freely, but it doesn't have 360 degrees of freedom, and it zeroes back. So it's kind of like a cost benefit. I'm not too sure which one's better, but let's go ahead and delete this and load in the previous one, because that one at least is a little bit more manageable. All right, so I'm back with the rotating servo, and I set the degrees up to their maximum, which is 175, and I noticed that it gives us way, way more control. We can almost go back fully, just a slight angle off, but the problem is this. Watch. What is that? Like, what is going on here? I think it may be just a little bit too complex, and it kind of messes up a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm actually gonna adjust the speed a little bit to 0.5. I'm gonna put the angle down to 166, just in case the max angle is what's causing the issue here. I'm gonna adjust these ones to be a little bit slower. I'm gonna have the angle be a little bit steeper, and I'm actually gonna get rid of the down. All right, so now let's see how this feels. So now we can shoot. We can go up that high and shoot. Oh, look at that. How far does it go? Not bad. I'm thinking about having it be a little bit slower on the up and down. All right, so all that's left to do now, I hope, is to finish up the turret design, make it look nice, and fill in some of those areas where I had to delete these wheels. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I think I'm like pretty much as close to done as I can be. I actually got a couple times in the building process, I got a structure is too complex warning, and what I actually had to do was delete some of these 2x4s. Like, I deleted a couple of groups of 2x4s to replace with some of the 4x8s. So that way it would reduce 4 pieces down to 1 piece, making it less complex, meaning I could add like one more piece like this little 2x1 block here and this one right here. I couldn't even add those in until I made some adjustments to this stuff. So this thing is pretty much reaching the limit of complexity that the game will allow me to play with. I'm hoping I can spawn it in and everything still works the same way. I'm going to save it first. There we go. It's only 303 blocks, which isn't as much as I thought for something that keeps telling me it's complex. But let's see if it works. Definitely took a while there. All right. My controls are still good, it looks like. I can turn. Holy cow, look at that. All right, let's go ahead and turn back the other way. Okay, so now, can I turn my turret? Okay, it's turning. Now I'm letting go. I don't like that. I don't like how the turret doesn't smoothly turn the way it should. I'm sure that'll be fixed in some future updates, but right now that's something we're gonna have to deal with. Okay, now let's see if we can put our gun up. Okay, up. How high does it go? Good, down. All right, and now let's shoot. All right, it looks like we have a working tank now. Look at this. I'm pretty proud of myself. I think it looks pretty good. So now all that's left is to actually shoot things with it. Now, I'm curious, if I get out of this tank and I want to spawn in something else, does the oh, that looks weird. See, I knew that was going to look weird with this stuff, with it having that gap there, but there's nothing I can really do about that. Anyway, now I'm curious, can I spawn in another structure that has like 50 blocks on it? And will it have its own complexity, or is it going to add on to the complexity of what we already have spawned in the world? All right, so I'm just gonna build myself a wall to shoot at. All right, so now we have our first target. So let's see if this tank can, let's see what it does. Let's just see what happens. All right, so we're gonna have to aim our tank here. Actually, you know what? We don't even have to turn our tank into it necessarily, because we could do it this way. All right, here we go, and boom. It's totally working. It's totally, oh, it fell over. Can we hit it? Can we hit it on the ground? No, we cannot. Let's see if we can actually hit one of the legs. Here, let's zoom in here. All right, ready, time it right, and, oh, that was good, and that wasn't so good. All right, come on, and, oh, wait, oh, it's disappearing. I should have saved that. Actually, it's probably in our blueprints list. You know what, let's make as big of a wall as we can. I'm gonna build a wall so big that Trump would be proud. Okay, here's what I want to do. I want to build a wall that is so big that the game is going to tell me that it's too complex, and only then am I going to stop building this wall. And then we're going to take it out with this tank over here. All right, we have done it. Structure is too complex at exactly 700 of the 2x4 blocks. I cannot even add one more of these things in here. Can I add a 2x1? Nope, I can't even add a 2x1 in here. Structure is too complex. So now I am ready to save this thing as just a giant wall, just for future use. And let's hope we can spawn this thing in here with our tank. All right, here we go. Oh, look at this wall. This wall is huge, and we're gonna destroy it with this tank. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Oh, no. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh. All right, the wall might be a little bit front heavy. So this is an easy fix. All right, so this should fix our balance problem, I hope. Let's just hope that this thing actually spawns in here. Look at I like all the sparks. It's like a little fireworks display. All right, it is in. Now, where's the tank? Where did my tank go? Did it really? Yep, all right, tank is spawned in, wall is spawned in. We got it. Okay. Where should I aim for? I'm gonna aim for the top first, because maybe it'll stay longer. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna aim for the top of it. Whoop. I did not mean to press the button. I meant to press this button to raise the actual cannon. And, oh, that was perfect. Oh, this is fun. Oh, except for the fact that I can't just aim at a slight angle to the left or right. You know what? There's a solution to this. If I just turn sideways like this, now we can aim nice and slow. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna aim for that corner over there. This is kind of hard since I can't get everything to just stay where I want it to. And shoot. Oop, oop. And shoot. Oh. All right, well, this is working. I'm punching holes in the wall, which is like more than I could have asked for. This is awesome. It's actually working. We have it. It's working enough. We have a tank, and we can shoot at a wall, and we can punch holes into the wall. And to me, that feels like a working tank. All right, let's see how long it takes to actually completely destroy this wall. I guess if I aim for the feet, it'll probably be the easiest way to actually destroy this thing. Oh, oh, oh. Is it going? Is it going? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, it's disappeared. No. Oh, well, I guess all that's left to do is take this tank off and jump and see what happens. So let me know what you guys thought of this, of this awesome tank. It actually looks, oh no, what? Oh, no, that, once again, I thought I was gonna do something awesome, and then I didn't. Well, let me know what you guys think of this awesome tank. I mean, it came out way better than I thought. Glitches aside, I mean, there's not much we could do about the bugs and stuff in the game. Remember, this is early access, so hopefully we've given some good limit tests to what the game can do. And ooh, my engines are all exposed. That is not good. That is not good for the stability or the structural integrity of this vehicle. If I just back into this wall here, I'm probably going to explode. Those engines are going to explode. Oh, that is close. We have to destroy this tank, though. We have to do it. We have to back these engines right up into a wall so we explode. All right, here it goes. Remember to leave a like if you like this video. Oh, that was great. And definitely leave a comment on what you'd like to see in future Trailmakers videos. I love doing the tank in this video, so what do you guys want to see me make in future videos? And if you're not sure what I've made already, go ahead and check out the Trailmakers playlist where it shows everything that I've done in Trailmakers so far. Anyway, I had a lot of fun with this episode. This has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.